Officials in British Columbia have issued an evacuation order for residents living near the Chilcotin River in the central interior. Earlier this week, a landslide blocked the river, effectively creating a dam. And now there are concerns about flash flooding. For more on this story, we're joined by Linda Ward. Linda, what do we know right now about the imminent threat to the residents?
Yeah, so imminent flooding, possible evacuations. A lot is being said by the government of the effect of this massive landslide. So debris, soil going down into the Chilcotin River. Now, this river is a tributary into the Fraser River. It is upstream of Ngwentlet, also known as Farwell Canyon, in the Cariboo region, a little under 300 kilometers north of Vancouver. We can show you some satellite imagery of the effect of this landslide. This is the before picture, and we can show you what it looks like after the landslide that happened. You can see the water just getting backed up. This dam is massive, 600 meters wide, 30 meters deep. The water building up behind it, causing essentially an 8 to 10 kilometer long lake. Officials say, again, flash flooding imminent. That could happen within the next day or so. An outburst of water, trees, debris that are caught up behind this dam could come down and then cause water levels to increase very, very quickly. The Chilcotin National Government has declared a local state of emergency. We heard from the chair of the Cariboo Regional District about just how this potential flooding could happen.
It will happen either one or two ways. Either the water that is building up behind the landslide will get to the level where it goes over the top of the landslide, or the water will find a way through, like a fissure through the landslide area. And as that water gets through a small area, it will erode away the sand. So eventually, the whole thing will give way.
And we're showing you now just the flood warnings and watches that are in place for the area. The Chilcotin River upstream of the landslide, that's the area in red. That is a flood warning, a flood watch. Just below it there in orange, that is the Fraser River from where it meets the Chilcotin River all the way downstream to Hope. And in yellow at the bottom, high water advisory. There could be high stream flows even through the lower mainland. If it does let go, Abby, they say it could take 12 to 24 hours for the waters to reach Hope. So there is time, but not a lot of it.
In terms of evacuation orders, there have been a couple of them. Talk to us about that and how people could potentially prepare.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at 2 evacuation orders, essentially in the landslide area. About a dozen people are affected by that. There has been an evacuation center that's been set up in Williams Lake as a precaution. It is possible, though, that evacuation orders, dozens of them, could be issued. They're saying, the government is saying, be prepared, get your go bags ready, prepare your home for possible flooding. We heard from the Minister of Waterlands and Resource Stewardship. They say that they are using aircraft to sort of map out the situation.
Our crews are flying the river right now. First Nations have been in the air and observing the impacts of this, and we are deploying all of the assets that we are able to the area to understand best what the impact of this slide is, understanding what our options are as government, and working with local communities and experts to be able to understand if a slower release of water is imminent or possible in a natural way.
So they've got the sandbags at the ready, also these rock and mesh retaining walls and sort of rubber flexible dams that can be rapidly deployed in case of an emergency to protect surrounding communities. Helicopters ready to assist with potential search and rescue needs. They're telling people stay away from the riverbanks and for boats to get out of the area. Another thing that they are watching, though, is that the Chilcotin is a critical fish spawning habitat, and the sockeye are moving up that system right now. So they're looking at what they can do now to try and save those stocks.
A lot of potential impacts because of all of this. Thanks for keeping an eye on it for us, Linda. The CBC's Linda Ward.